Hi guys! You may think I look pretty similar to the way I looked in my last video, and that's because I'm just filming videos right in a row. I've been wanting to make this vlog for a couple weeks now, but I keep forgetting, and I need to do it before I forget the things I want to tell you. So let me just preface this by saying I know I'm about to complain a lot, but in the end, I did have a really good time and I would do it all over again. So, that being said, a couple weeks ago, I went to a concert, the 8123 tour, for The Maine as the headliners, featuring Brighten This Century and A Rocket to the Moon. Now, I went pretty much just for A Rocket to the Moon. I found them through Landon Austin. I know you guys have heard me talk about him before. And I fell in love with them a couple months ago, and then I heard they're going out on tour. Oh, that's exciting. And then I heard that it's their farewell tour because they've broken up and it's amicable, but they're just gonna go do their own things. In fact, one of the guys from Brighton was actually in A Rocket to the Moon. Like, he was in Brighton, and then he was in A Rocket to the Moon, and then he's liking both, so it was a thing. But so I'm like, well, this is my last chance to see them. I'm hoping for a reunion tour before I even get to actually see them play. So I had to go, obviously. So I start listening to the other bands that are going to be playing, so I'm prepared. And my roommate hears me listening to them and likes the music and decides to go as well. I pre-ordered my ticket, she didn't. Yeah, so I was excited. And the day of the concert, I had to work because it was on a weekday, which way too many concerts are. So that sucked, having to be at work all day. And so I'm tired from work and I have to drive to the concert and I get stuck in traffic, and so I'm irritated because I do not have the patience for people and they're dumb driving and I just don't. I still managed to get to the concert early, but I'm irritated and I have to pay to park, but I would have rather paid to park and in this parking lot across the street from the Arena Avenue, no, what's the word I'm looking for? The place where the concert was. Yeah. Than just somewhere random in Pontiac because it's a little sketch. So at this point, I'm getting texts from my roommate that she's stuck in this huge traffic jam and she's not going anywhere. And she might not be able to get there on time, if at all, so that's disappointing. And then I get in line and there's so many people and I don't think they're all gonna fit in this little space, so I tell her, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get in, and I have to wait because there's this huge line. And it was hot. It was so hot and sunny, and there were a lot of people, and I don't deal well with heat or the sun or outside or waiting or people, so that was a great time for me. And I had forgotten to grab my comfy shoes. Like, I had to work, so I was in work shoes, and then I forgot to grab my comfy shoes, so I was stuck in these bad boys, which look cute, but they're not very bendy. They're really hard on the bottom. There's no smushiness. There's so flat. There's no support. So my feet were hurting about 5 minutes into this experience, like before I ever got anywhere close to the actual concert. So I knew that didn't bode well for the evening. And then they finally start letting us in, and my roommate decides that there's no way she's going to make it on time, and with all these people, like, she doesn't want to drive all that way to be late and then maybe not get a ticket. So I'm in this on my own, which sucks and is hard because I don't do things alone. So then that's a problem and making me anxious, and we get in there and it's a little cooler and it feels nice, and then it very quickly starts to get hot again from all the body heat, and people are piling in and pushing me closer to the stage, which I understand I want to be close to. Okay, I'll put up with it. But then people start pushing me out of the way to get ahead of me, and I'm crowded by so many people, and some 7-foot-tall douchebag literally pushed me out of the way to stand in front of me. I have never in my life wanted a boyfriend more than I wanted a boyfriend in that moment to be with me and punch that guy in the face, because you know what? You don't push girls. It's rude. You just don't do it. And not one woman, not one man, not one single person around me who saw this happen said anything. Nobody asked me if I was okay. Nobody said anything to this douchebag. So that just pushed my irritation level even up, because I'm already hot and uncomfortable, like physically uncomfortable and emotionally uncomfortable because of all these people and the anxiety, and then I'm just pissed. And I took the high road because I did not have the time or the energy to waste on these stupid people. I was determined to have a good time, so. But then I'm like being pushed and crowded by people and being touched in places I don't necessarily want to be touched, and I'm by myself, and I'm waiting for the show to start. It started late. Then they come on. Okay, let's let it go. Let's have a good time. So Brighton comes on first, and they sing like 4 songs, and they tell us that everybody is sick on tour, so nobody's gonna sound their best. So that was just great. Like, this is my last chance, and nobody's gonna even sound good. But they sounded pretty good, just as good as they do on their albums, which was great. And he had a great falsetto, the lead singer. And he played guitar, and he had a good beard. Like, I was all over it, and I had a good time. And I wish they could play more. And then it was the Century's turn, although there was really long waits in between each set. Like, I was over it. I don't know what was taking so long. I'm just trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. It's like, it's because they're sick. It's because they're sick, for sure. But I was so irritated, and as the night keeps progressing on, my feet just keep hurting more and more, and the rest of me keeps hurting more and more. I keep getting hotter and hotter and more irritated, and I just get closer and closer to my wall because the stimulation of all the things, and it's just overwhelming for introverts like me. So then this Century comes on, and normally I'm one to investigate, but I didn't for some reason with any of these bands, so I had no idea what they looked like. I didn't follow any of them on their Facebooks or Twitters or anything like that. I had no idea what they looked like. I only knew what they sounded like, and I was very pleasantly surprised by this Century. The lead singer, I think his name is Joel. He had a really good face, and he had these arms, and he sounded so good. Like, they were so much better live. And he was so intense, like with the arm movements, and he was playing the tambourine. And I know that does not sound rock and roll, but I've never seen anybody tambourine so hard. He was rocking it, and I was into it. And his hair, he had like the best hair I've ever seen on the guy. It was long and straight and perfect and shiny and bouncy, and I don't think I've ever seen a girl with hair that pretty, let alone this boy. Like, you just want to touch the hair because it was so great. And I fell in love a little bit, and I did not want their set to be over, but that meant it was time for a rocket to the moon. And you really couldn't tell the other guys were sick. You could tell a rocket to the moon was sick. Very raspy, and I could still hear the original kind of voice underneath it all, but if you had never heard them. So their set wasn't nearly long enough, considering it was their farewell tour, and I know they weren't the headliner, but it was their farewell tour. I feel like they should have been the headliner. Like, I think you owe it to your fans. Like, I've only been with you for a couple months, and I want more. I can't imagine what these people who have been with you for a long time are feeling. And they didn't play nearly enough songs, and they definitely didn't play enough songs from their newest album, which is the best by far, so that was disappointing. But even though he didn't sound exactly like himself, they sounded good, and we were rocking out, and I had a great time, and so grateful and happy I got to see them play live. And so then it's time for the main, and we're waiting a long time, and we have been pushed so close to the stage at this point, like, I really can't see anything, and I just have no physical space at all, and I'm in pain, and I'm overwhelmed, and my ear is a little damaged, and yeah, but I'm still excited. And then there are all these teenagers, and they start getting all teenagery while waiting for the main, and there was this girl by me, and she was one of those girls who has the really high, like, doll, childlike voice, and for like 15 minutes, she was like, oh my god, you guys, I can't see anything, it's so hot, and I can't see, and I want to see them, I waited so long to see them, can I sit on your shoulders, please, can I sit on your shoulders, I can't see, do you think those guys over there would let me sit on their shoulders, I'm small, like, what do you think, and oh my god, I'm so hot, I need to walk, like, 15 minutes of that. I wanted to punch her. I wanted to throttle her. I wanted to do anything that would get her to shut up. I mainly wanted to say, honey, nobody can see at this point. I haven't been able to see a thing during this entire show. I can't see much of anything during my entire life. It's part of being short. Get used to it, honey. But again, I didn't because I don't want to start problems. I'm a nice person. So, just trying to wait for the main to come out and enjoy myself. And then they come out, and what happens? They suck. Like, they suck. Like, I tried to attribute it to the fact that they're supposedly sick, but after I got home, I went and checked them out online. Other live performances, no, they sound like that. You can sort of hear where the sound you get from the albums comes from, but it sounded like the guy was trying way too hard to have a raspy voice, and he kind of bit off his words, like I can't, that's it. And maybe it would have been better if I wasn't so uncomfortable in so many ways. And then I was going to stick it out and just enjoy it for what it was. And then people started trying to crowd surf. I don't have time for your crap. I don't have the time or the energy to hold up you or your friends. Like, it's not happening. In fact, one person fell because me and this girl next to me both just, like, we stepped back in unison. We were done. It wasn't happening. And it was really funny. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little justified. And I felt like a bad person for feeling that. And I still feel kind of bad saying it now. I was like, you know what, I ain't got time for your shenanigans. Like, maybe I'm just, like, getting too old at 25. Like, I don't know, maybe I just can't handle these crazy kids and their rock concerts. But, yeah. After the third person tried to crowd surf near me, and I was right in the middle, so they just kept going right on over me. I was like, I'm done. I just got kicked in the head. So I went to the back of the room and stayed for one more song, got a water, and I tried. And then I just, like, it's not like I just hit my wall. It's like I exploded through it, like the Kool-Aid Man. I was just done. Like, my body hurt and my ear hurt. I couldn't hear well. My feet hurt. And I was just so overstimulated and overwhelmed by all the people and all the things like us introverts get. So I went back to the merch area because the bands had said that they were going to be hanging out there after their individual sets, and I thought maybe I'll catch one of them. Nope, it was empty, and I was thinking about staying until the very end of the show, and then, because they were all supposed to go out to the merch area at the end, and, well, I'll get to meet them, and then it's just like, my wall came and hit me right back after I hit it, and I just couldn't. Like, I was just so done, and I was really sad that I missed the chance to meet the bands, especially Rocket to the Moon, because it may be my last chance ever. I mean, you can't hope too hard for a reunion tour. Like, I should have gone in between the actual sets, because they all went out after their own set to meet with fans, but I liked all of them. I liked all of their music. I wanted to see them live, but I have the chance to see everybody but a Rocket to the Moon again. Like, I should have just gone, but no time for regrets. But yeah, so, I was sad nobody was out there, and I'm sad I missed my chance to meet the bands, but I just couldn't take anymore. So then I had to drive home in the rain, in the dark, in my contacts, where I had no idea where I was going. Thank God for GPS, or I would probably still be driving around Pontiac. Like, I would have had no idea how to get home. And I was just exhausted. And I really did have an amazing time in the end. I know it doesn't sound like it. Like, the music and that high from the live music overwhelms all the other stuff, and I would totally go back and do it again. I would just wear different shoes, and I would bring somebody with me, preferably a boy, to push that douche face out of my way. But, yeah, so it was fun. I will definitely be going to see Brighton and This Century again the next chance I get, and I would give the Maine another chance, just not if they're the headliner, because the headliner gets all the time, and I can't. So, yes, I do recommend all of their music. I highly recommend the first three. I would do links and stuff below, but I'm just done with that for my iPhone videos, because then they don't get uploaded, and it's a lot of work, and yeah. So, like I said, I did have fun. In the end, I would go back and do it again, but it was a night to remember, that's for sure, and I felt that concert for a good week after. Like, I couldn't hear well out of my right ear for a while. I felt it in my body, definitely felt it in my feet, and just kind of like mental exhaustion. It's a lot to deal with for us introverts, and if you're not an introvert, you don't get it. But yeah, so there's my ramblings for the day. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts and feelings about any of these musicians, concerts in general, maybe any bad experiences or similar experiences you've had at a concert, and I will see you next time. Thanks for listening if you made it all that way. Message from OkCupid. Excuse that. Okay, love you guys. Bye!